turn 1 gig into many. This is the killer. This is the end of my presentation where I'm actually going to tell you something that's going to differentiate you from any speaker at any conference you're at. So generally, a speaker will come in, they'll do their bit, they'll leave. That's it. What I tell my clients to do is create a tweet sheet to promote your session ahead of time on Twitter using the proper hashtag for the event. And then live tweet your session. If you've got Hootsuite, you can actually schedule while you're talking a new tweet every 5 minutes while you're on stage, right? So if you've got 10 salient points you're going to touch on, tweet that out to people that aren't even in this session but are at the event.
Hootsuite allows you to pre-program.
Yeah, you do a bulk. Yeah, you do a bulk upload. So if I'm speaking at just get your time zone right because I've screwed this up before. Because Hootsuite's scheduled based on whatever time zone you got. So so what you do is if you're speaking for an hour, you have 10 salient tweets. You send those out as you're speaking. It's a great way to tell people, hey, you know what? You don't have to take notes. It's all on Twitter. I'm sending this stuff out to you. And then at the end of it, you can further have the calls to action. People don't like you selling from stage, but you can sell from Twitter. It's like, hey, if you love Ded's presentation, you want to come to speak. If you love my presentation, you want me to speak at your organization, go here. Create a landing page on your site. If I'm speaking to a whole bunch of people, I can say, listen, the slide deck is available on a landing page on my website. You send them to a landing page. You go, hey, listen, all my notes, my SlideShare presentation, everything is on a landing page on my website. You can have additional calls to action there. Send people back to your site. Try and get them to sign up for your newsletter there, and really kind of go that extra mile. Because I'm telling you, most speakers don't do any of this, right? So if you want to stand out, and I'll give you a real world example of how it actually worked for me. Last summer, I did a sponsored presentation at NSA, and it was at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. I was up against, I think, a golf tournament and chapter leadership. And I pretty much packed the room. You were there, weren't you? And all I did was promote the hell out of it all week on Twitter I created this tweet sheet, scheduled it out. And it was just, and then, 20 minutes before, it's like, hey, my session's starting in 20 minutes. I'm drinking my coffee up in my room. These automatic tweets are just going out, just kind of promoting my event. And it worked. I got a lot of business out of that. So that's something pretty powerful.
Can you talk a little more about the tweet sheet itself?
Sure.
What do you include?
So here's exactly what you include. You include the date and the time, the tweet, so the content with the hashtags, and then on the third column you would have the link. Right? That's it. So where you're going to send them. So when I was speaking, some of the tweets that I had scheduled out were articles that I'd written. So it's like I'd send them, this great article that I'm talking about. Here it is there. People can go see it. So the idea is, even after I'm done speaking, or after you're done speaking, what's going to happen is people are going to look for that hashtag on Twitter for the event, and all your tweets are going to come up with links to content on your website.